Greetings, survival horror fans. EQA Nostalgia here, and Capcom has just dropped their last two teaser trailers for Resident Evil 7. Just real quick, in case you guys missed it, I did an analysis of the first 6 videos. It's going to be up on the screen. You can click that, check it out, and then come right back to this video because I'm going to be taking a look at the last 4. Okay, so picking up where we left off, this is volume number 7. This is called A Closer Look, and it's very basic. They're just showing us that you can pick things up in the environment, you can examine them just like you could with a classic Resident Evil title. So, I mean, if you examine each one of these, some of them are not very exciting, right? I mean, big deal. It's a rusty box that you can spin around. But the overall theme here that they're going with these teasers is that, hey, take a look at this. This is very much classic Resident Evil. So they've been keeping with that. The next one is volume 8. It's called Imagination. Now, this one's actually pretty interesting because it gives us another look at the area from the Lantern demo, and it shows us this little puzzle room. The lighting in this game is absolutely phenomenal. That's one of the things that sticks out for me through most of these trailers is just how well the shadows look, just how well the lighting looks. Here we can see what I assume is the main protagonist trying to solve that shadow puzzle that we saw earlier. It looks like he's already progressed enough to where we saw that spider bit. So he's already got that part out of the way, and it looks like this is a little bit more complicated than I originally gave it credit for because he's using several different items to try to solve this puzzle. That's really cool. It shows that there's a little bit more depth here. Puzzles and Resident Evil haven't really gone hand in hand for a long time, and many of you probably remember when the puzzles started to become progressively more and more of an afterthought. So it's good to see that there's a little bit more here, and it's going to be a little bit more tricky than just putting something into a door and opening it. Whenever I think back to classic Resident Evil, I'm reminded of 1996, 97, around that time, when I was also very much into Tomb Raider. Now, I don't expect this game to have Tomb Raider level brain-busting puzzles, and I'd be pretty disappointed if it did, because Resident Evil's never really been about that. But the puzzles always kind of gave pause to the action, and it helped to break things up a little bit. So I'm definitely excited to see them adding puzzles into the game, and they're not as basic as I thought they would be. At least this one isn't. Alright, so next up we have Regenerator. No, I'm just kidding. This is called Shadow. They might as well have just called it Regenerator, because I'm pretty sure that's exactly what that thing is. Now, when I initially saw it, I thought, oh, it's the Leech Man from Resident Evil 0 and Outbreak. No, it's the fucking Regenerator. And it's absolutely terrifying. It looks like we're in some sort of a basement area, not entirely certain where we are, but it's horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying. And we can assume that our protagonist is dead after this. I hope he's saved, because once this thing grabs a hold of you, well, you guys know how that goes. This is probably the most exciting footage that we've got so far, in my opinion, because it shows a classic Resident Evil enemy. It also shows off the combat, which is something that we've seen a little bit before, but this is really nice. And something that stands out to me that really didn't before, I don't know why, is how minimalistic this is. There's no HUD to speak of. I mean, yes, you've got your watch that you can use to check your status to make sure you're not dying, but other than that, that's the only thing that I'm seeing on the screen here. I don't know if they've got things turned off or if the game is going to be this minimalistic. I'm guessing, yeah, because they're using VR. It's one of those things that's weird. I haven't really talked about it. I haven't really given it much thought. But this game looks to be very minimalistic, and I like that. That just gives you more immersion. I guess it does make sense. If you're going to use VR, you don't want a lot of shit floating up on the screen, right? How would that work in VR? It would probably be pretty annoying having those things obscuring your vision. Alright, so last but certainly not least, we have Aunt Rhody, and I think this is probably the bit that really shows off the graphics the most out of all of the trailers. Look at the lighting here, guys. This reminds me so much of Night of the Living Dead and the staircase from the original 1969 version of the movie. 1991 version, I guess, works as well. I'm sorry, I'm nerding out on you guys here. It very much gives that vibe. It gives that Texas Chainsaw vibe, that classic horror movie, that American horror movie vibe of a creepy staircase. It just looks absolutely amazing in terms of shadows and lighting. Now, in terms of who's in this chair, I don't think that Capcom has given her a name yet. If they have, I apologize. I haven't found it anywhere. I guess maybe her name is Aunt Rhody because she's singing the Aunt Rhody song, which is, by the way, is incredibly creepy. What's with the mold on the walls in here? Where's the caretaker? Is anybody taking care of this place? This is an asthmatic's worst nightmare. That's all I've got to say. Every little detail. Look at this, guys. From the stairs to the mold on the side of the wall when he gets up to the foot of the stairs. Very beautiful looking game. And I know I can't be the only person who was expecting her to turn and have something horribly wrong with her face. What is it with horror games and movies where you know, it's just a cliche to come around a corner and someone turns and, oh shit, he doesn't have a face, or oh shit, he's got a really sinister grin carved into his face, or something horrible like that. But no, it's just this innocent looking old lady, and she's fucking horrifying. I don't want to walk past her ever. And knowing Capcom, they'll probably have her in key points throughout the game where you've got to walk by her, and she won't do anything at first, and then like the 100th time you walk by, she'll grab your leg, drag you to the ground with a knife, and stab you in the face, or something horrific like that. At any rate, these trailers have been exactly what Capcom needed them to be. They've shown us that this is very much a classic Resident Evil, and they've done nothing but drum up hype from me and everybody who's interested in this game. The people that are hating on this game, I don't know what they're saying anymore, guys, because to be quite frank with you, I don't give a fuck. I'm not listening to the haters anymore at this point. I'm not going to be doing any more in defense videos. I'm not going to be doing any more reading mean comments. I'm just going to forget about that side of things and go forward with the game, because personally, I think this looks like the best Resident Evil we've seen in a very long time. Alright, so at this point I want to kick it over to you guys. Make sure you let me know what you get. Wait a minute. What's that noise?